Today we're going to be talking about the law of assumption. The law of assumption works by essentially attracting good things to you, similarly to the law of attraction, by assuming that whatever you want is already within your grasp. Begin acting as if you already have the things that you want. Believe and feel it within yourself, and before long, it really will be true. One way to think of it is to believe that the glass is half full, not half empty. This mindset was developed by Neville Goddard on a positive thinking tactic. It, it can seem to be part luck and part mentally reframing. A portion of its framework takes the stance that if you focus on what you want and being positive outcomes are simply more likely to occur. Recently, many people have adopted manifesting a viewpoint essentially to save and the same as the law of assumption in practice. However, the strategy helps people reframe their thoughts, shifting from a negative or pessimistic outlook to a positive one. The idea is that looking for negative outcomes begets negative outcomes, but expecting positive outcomes can show the same facts in a new light. It also gets rid of the barrier of self doubt, already allowing you to act with utter confidence in your life, which can also help foster success. You can apply the law to any desires, wishes, or aspirations using it to be successful in any aspect, whether it be love, money, housing, jobs, or any other ones you have in your life, and also the needs. How does the law of assumption work? How to practice law of assumption? Well, on my end is that I need a house. So I want this house to be located at Venezia in Italy. In order for me to achieve that, I have a channel, a YouTube channel, in which is based upon anything that I can think of recording. And I just have to, and what I'm doing by that is just testing which channel works for me, which one is the one that that reaches higher reviews from people seeing those videos. If I see that there have not been no reviews, no one has been watching the recipes channel, I discontinue doing that. I do not move any, don't uh, move forward on that. I don't record it anymore. No cooking. So I continue staying with the channel of the authors, which is me, books. It seems to work. Either short videos or normal long videos. Podcast is working as well. So I continue with the podcast until I reach my aim, which is would be right now I have only 86 subscribers. I need at least 100, and then from 100 it needs to jump to 1,000 and so forth. But in my mind, I have already bought that house, which it does not, like for instance, I have a website here, which is a James Edison real estate, and they sell also all sorts of properties in Italy, and if I'm not mistaken, all over Europe. And but the thing is that the price that cannot jump up to 1 million, although USD, but although I need the 1 million USD in order to cover up not only the purchase of the property, leave me a gap, because from here it will be a one-way ticket to Italy, and I have to take with me on first class, of course, 4 suitcases, because you're allowed to take with you 4 suitcases, if I'm not mistaken, with any other American airlines, United, American Airlines, Delta, you name it. Not sure with European, but if you go on first class, I have done the research, and you can go on first class, either one-way round trip, whatever you want to go. But on my end is one way, and the gap for instance, on the trip on going to Italy, on the way, one way, then it will be four in my end. Actually, I wanted to take eight. And if they have to go on cargo, such as another airline, and they take yourself as in cargo, then eventually you have to, take them out on the other end. No problem, I'll do that. But I don't want to leave behind any of my belongings, none of my books, meaning my dad's books as well, and electronics. All of that has to go with me on that trip. And the gap, as for the property goes, it cannot jump into 1 million because it has to be at least 829,800 USD. Leaving the huge gap means for me, either because I have to, pay the real estate. I don't know how much that'll be. Probably will be 1 or 2 thousand. Cannot go higher than that. Then the inscription of the property on my name, have to pay that too. I don't know what will be the property tax. It has to cover that up, that gap. And if I reach 2 million into using that facility engine that is actually my work full time on YouTube and also the podcast, it covers as an American way of thinking, then it will be 2 million USD. Then I can breathe because I have to do some renovations also to the property. More of, usually these properties from Venice, that you can see the garden. It has grass, earth, the soil. You can plant flowers, a garden. But also when you step out on the front end is a lagoon. So by chance that, or the first floor, as you see, that is pretty. Eventually water is gonna come in once the water rises. But that is my ideal thinking. So in order for me to get over there, I have to get to 1 million subscribers in order for me to get paid that 1 million subscribers. Sorry, 1 million USD to get over there to pay that house. Because I also have to do like a solo trip still to open the bank and so forth. And then probably pay some some taxes and aside of the property tax also. But that is how I do my law and of assumption. And how does it work with me if I have to do all that, then not think about it, right? Not even move forward with it. But it kind of works because, or it sort of works because I have to, in order to get to that amount, then I have to work on YouTube and the podcast. Once the podcast and the YouTube subscribers are level up whatever I wanted them to be, the volume of numbers of people subscribing onto my channel, then everything flows smoothly. And continue doing that. And also because I have to pay the ticket, the first class ticket, the suitcases, probably have to pay the whole cargo thing, and still leave the gap with a certain amount of money and more extra because the real estate, the inscription of the property and so forth. And so that's how it will work for me. And on your end, let me check. Should have just, let me see. So, but on something that can help you get to where you want to as a right state of mind for leaving um, state of mind for leaving by, assuming by the law of assumption is positive affirmations, integrating little compliments to yourself into the day, in your day, week, or month can have a great effect on your confidence and belief in yourself. For example, telling yourself things like, I am capable, I am magnetic, you attract as a magnet, or I am strong, you can put up with it. On a daily basis, it can help you turn those law of assumption affirmations into facts that you wholeheartedly believe. It can also be helpful to simply observe your inner monologue and notice what your everyday thought patterns look like. It's easy not to see negative or self-destructive thoughts patterns sometimes. It as they usually develop over time and can be a result of conscious or subconscious thoughts. Noticing these patterns and working to change them can be extremely helpful in believing in your desires. So the law of assumptions examples. The law of assumption can work for goals in any area of your life. So there are unlimited ways you can use it for manifesting desires. However, here are some examples of these things people might commonly use the law of assumption for. They could go for relationships, platonic or romantic. That for me is a total waste of time. Or a new house, which is a good positive vibe. Work success, the money inflow, the good health, and the dream car. It depends on the person going for it. But the first one, I believe that is the platonic and the romantic. The platonic part that is not um, logical. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if it flows, it flows. If it doesn't, let it go. Don't get obsessed with a person that is not for you, because you will get in yourself in problems, and that's called stalking, trespassing. You go to jail, court, jail, whatever you want to. You will end up going. So don't go for that. The first one, by assuming that these things exist in your life already, you can end up making room in your life for them, whether that be saving money or perhaps working confidently. It can also change how you look at yourself, such as with your health. With I'm sorry, when before you see yourself as unhealthy and may have had a hard time looking in the mirror, by assuming that you are the healthy person you always wanted to be, it can help you practice self-love and acceptance by seeing yourself differently. This there are still practices that may need to be implemented along these new beliefs in order to practically prepare for your success. However, there are certainly benefits to trying to maintain positive outlook on your life through the law of assumption.